trying to get Brad back out to be whole. I'm just curious, when everybody's in place, how do you like the group when everybody's whole?
Yeah, I like our group. Like the chemistry we're building throughout the season, but injuries are part of the league, so we still can use these days for practice time to get better. So I like where we are. We want to just keep getting better, keep stacking the days.
Looking at defensively, as far as issues early with closing out on threes and things of that nature, what do you feel like the defense has maybe gotten better since maybe the early struggles?
Which early struggles? I feel like we've been having pretty solid defense when we were whole as a group. I think we were injured, a few guys injured, 3 or 4 guys who were key players in our lineup were injured. We might have struggled a bit on the defensive side of the ball, but I think we've been pretty solid throughout the whole season. We got an identity on the end that we want to kind of stand on each game, and we want to be a team that can make adjustments throughout on the fly too. So I like where we are defensively. Obviously, everybody feels they can get better, keep growing around this time, and that's the approach we're going to take.
What do you think the identity is defensively?
A team that can fly around, close out, make multiple efforts, guard your man individually, and be a great help, team defender. So there's a lot of things that we need to do in order for our defense to be at that top level throughout a game, and that's what Coach calls us to do. So we got to be prepared for that every possession.
I know you've mentioned that you're not surprised when Royce has a good game, but it feels like he's getting into paint a little bit more, maybe getting his floater. Does it feel like he's kind of added new elements to his game at all?
You can say he added some stuff, or he just got more confident to use the stuff he already had in his toolbox. When you get pigeonholed into a role early in your career, sometimes kind of the game that you played before you got to the league, you kind of put that away a bit to try to fit into a role. And as he's gotten older in the league and he's been with teams that build his confidence up, they allow him to do more things. And this is a team that allow him to play off the dribble more, play around the basket, finish, shoot floaters, not just shoot threes, even though it's a great job at it this season.
What's kind of your take on the depth of the West this year? I know you've been out West a lot of your career, but just this year in particular.
Yeah, I just think it's if you look at the overall talent in the league, this is the greatest pool of players, I think. The most talented and skilled group of players that our game has seen, because you can look down the line, you've got 8 or 9 guys that can stretch the floor on each team. So that's making the West standings look a little bunched up, because you got so many great players throughout the league. And that's a testament to the coaching staffs and the developmental staffs around the league who are developing these players to more than just one-dimensional guys. You got guys that can play multiple positions all around the league, and that's just making the league tougher and making it more fun every single night.
Piggyback up. No, ladies first.
Thank you. Tyus Jones talked the other day just about his mental approach, not getting too high or too low. I'm curious, as his teammate, how do you see that displayed in just the consistency on the show?
Yeah, I mean, he's just never rattled. Just never seen him react too much to a play. Always encouraging his teammates, regardless of what the score is. And that's a sign of a guy that's been through some battles on the floor, who has poise, who's won big games. So we lean on Tyus a lot, not just for his game, but for his demeanor as a point guard. And that's a lot of that times throughout, ebbs and flows through the game. Just looking over at him to kind of control the game makes it easier for all of us.
Piggyback off Shane's question, what's your take on the East and where it's at in the next opponents, with the Pacers? And there's a lot of 500 teams, but
yeah, like I said, there's a lot of talent throughout the league, and sometimes your record doesn't tell the type of talent you have on the team. And Indiana, I don't know what their record is, and I don't think it's over 500 just yet. Maybe hovering right around 500, but you got, Olympian on that team, and Tyrese with, stretch big, which is rare in our league, and Miles Turner, and a lot of good pieces around them. Ben Mathurin, Jim Hart, and T.J. McConnell. So they got a good team that I think that they're way better than what their record shows. So we got our work cut out for us, and I feel like there's a lot of teams in the East like that.
What was it like teaming up with Tyrese this summer? Having a really big team.
Yeah, I was curious to see what type of approach he had to the game, what type of person and player he was, and I was just blown away. And I see why all his teammates love him. And it's always going to be a tough out when you play those guys, because he plays with so much energy. A great sign of a great point guard is to kick the ball ahead, and he does that pretty often and gets everybody going. So he has that contagious energy.
Away from basketball, you're one of the few on the Suns that have your signature shoe, you, Book, and then there's Jason Kidd and Barkley. So how does it feel to be one of the few to continue this legacy? It's pretty rare for a Suns player to have their own signature shoe.
Yeah, I don't take it for granted. It's an amazing it's a huge responsibility, and you try to show how much you appreciate it by going out there and being the best professional you can be every single day and represent everybody, because these stories are going to last forever in my opinion. So just try to tell the right stories, and grateful I was able to get this opportunity.
Did you see the new All-Star game format?
Is it like 4 different teams?
Yeah, 4 teams, 6 players each. I think they're drafted by like Kenny and Shaq and Chuck, and then it's like a tournament style, first to 40 points.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it. It's terrible. All-Star game, formats changing, all the formats terrible in my opinion. And we should just go back to East-West, like just play a game. I think we've been trying to bring that flair back somehow with the All-Star weekend, but I think we just keep it traditional. But we'll see how this one works. You never know. I might be wrong. I'm just another guy with an opinion, but we'll see how it works.
Your guys' record, when you're available and when you're not, is very different. I don't know how aware of that you are, but how much can you look at that and say, this is who we are when we're healthy?
Yeah, of course, it's hard not to see that when everybody throw it in our face every chance they get. But I just think it missing a little bit of context too, because I think we had multiple guys out, not just me, multiple guys that play heavy rotation minutes. Ryan, Brad, Nurt. We had a few guys out, so I think we need everybody on the floor if we want to be a good team. So if we all healthy, we look pretty solid. So we want to just keep everybody on the floor, man. It's easier said than done, though.
You feel like this break is actually still helping a lot of guys? I mean, you guys had basically 3 breaks in the past month.
I know, and I love it. I love it. It's time to get in the gym, just recalibrate, get your game right, get your mind right, away from the noise and the clutter of the NBA. Sometimes on game nights it can get a little bit too much, so as much as you can recalibrate is good. So I'm glad we got these days. We get to practice, get some real bump, get some sparring sessions in. Some guys they don't get no bump, they get the bumps, so it's good for us. But it prepares us for the game too, so we're looking forward to some real action.
Since you guys have been eliminated from the NBA Cup, I'm curious, are you watching these games, and as a basketball fan, are you excited for the finals?
Yeah, I am. The suspense of the Cup has been amazing. The games have been great. There's teams that have put forth the effort. They want to win the Cup. And I heard Damian Lillard said a few years down the line, more and more people are going to start getting on board with the Cup, and I agree, because each year is getting more and more exciting. I want to experience that in Vegas. It's another entity within the NBA that I want to be a part of and experience, along with All-Star Weekend, NBA championships, and all of the stuff that the NBA puts on. This is another entity for us. So it's dope that we can get to watch those guys on the main stage right now, and it's only going to push the NBA Cup forward.
Looked like things got a little heated with Nerd the other night. I think sometimes when fans sit down, they're like, well, can you describe what goes into those things?
Yeah, fans understand that, or a lot of fans haven't played team sports, so they don't understand what it's like having that constant dialogue with a person every single day, and you got to work towards a common goal. So yeah, it might look a little crazy from the outside looking in, but that's just normal talk for us.
Thanks, Katie.
Coach seeing Brad move a little bit. What was he able to do today in practice?
Today his practice was in the training room. He did a bunch of kind of rehab type stuff. He did really well in the training room is what I got, and now he's doing some work post practice.
How big will tomorrow be in terms of what he's able to do as far as playing on?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a big, probably 24, 36 hours. We're hopeful that he continues to make progress and evaluate him each day.
When you look at defensively, what do you feel like your guys' identity is that you've been able to carve out, and where are some areas you want to continue to improve?
Well, I think just our general competitiveness, more often than not, has been good. And guys are flying around and covering for each other. I think we're guarding the ball, keeping it in front of us, taking pride in guarding our man. Pick and roll coverage is always a challenge in our league, and we need to keep working at it, keep improving. It's kind of a never-ending game, offense and defense and the pick and roll and two-man games. So I think that's always a big part of it. When our transition defense is good, that's when we're at our best too.
I know it's kind of always talking about who's healthy and who's not, and the record when KD plays and when he doesn't. How much do you look at that and say, we're really good when we're pretty healthy and when Kevin Durant's on the floor?
I think I'm much more focused on kind of what are we doing each day, how are we getting better? How are we competing, regardless who's playing? When Kevin plays, he competes, and we compete. And we haven't been able to get it done often enough without him. And there's some nights when I think we've all been frustrated. But when you compete and you find ways to get better, you feel like you're working your way towards being our best selves with or without Kevin. And I think for the most part, the group has done that.
Did you happen to see the new format for the All-Star game?
No.
It's 24 players, 4 different teams, 6 each. They're drafted by like Kenny, Shaq, and Chuck, and then it's a 3-game tournament. First team to 40 advances to the next round.
3-game tournament, what?
Yeah, 3-game tournament, first team to 40.
First team to 40? I'll have to read about it. I'll watch it with great anxiousness or excitement. I didn't mean that, Adam.
Do you enjoy like being in a league that tries different things?
No, I mean, I think the NBA is incredible in how they are constantly trying to, put the best product out there, for our fans and for our partners. And I just think Adam and the whole group with the NBA, in all honesty, just are continually pushing for us to be our best. And it's a great sport, and I think they feel like they're stewards of it, and we need to play our part. So I love being a part of the NBA and how they push the envelope and try and make everything we do better.
Keep seeing in the headlines, and the ratings are down. The ratings are down. NBA ratings are down. You feel like this format change for the All-Star game, judging by what happened last year with the highest scoring that ever happened in that game, that this will possibly help in some way, or what do you feel like are the factors?
Yeah, no, I'm sure. There's lots of different things or goals that I'm sure the NBA is trying to accomplish, but having the fans interested, keeping their attention, capturing them is always a big part of what we do. So hopefully the new format, the way that players embrace it, and it can be an all-star weekend that everybody's excited about.
Coach, on that note, I know earlier this season you told us that you didn't pay attention much to the in-season tournament. Have you been watching the NBA Cup this season?
I watched a little bit of the other day. Lots of times we're playing, it feels like. So, tonight, I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tune in to tonight and see how it goes.
Any interest since it's Milwaukee?
No, I mean, Oklahoma City and Milwaukee, two good teams. They've earned their spot in it. It's always good to see, the top teams in our league go against each other.
Losing his life this week. What do you remember about him?
Yeah, no, I mean, I throw out a lot of names from my childhood, but Dick Van Arsdale is actually one of them. I saw that maybe his last year was 1977, so I was very young. I was only 8, but remember Tom and Dick Van Arsdale, and just a great player, great human. Great for our organization, great for our city. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family and his friends. Thanks.